Today, we are going to tell the story of a molecule that is absolutely crucial for your health. A molecule that, believe it or not, connects things like car exhaust, lightning, and your own body. And the wild part, you've probably never even really thought about it. So let's just start with a bit of a puzzle. What on earth could possibly be the link between the fumes from a car's tailpipe, the flash of a lightning bolt in the sky, and the delicate lining of your own arteries? It sounds impossible, right? Well, the answer is, surprisingly, the exact same thing. It's a simple, invisible gas, one that for the longest time, scientists just dismissed as, some nasty air pollutant. But it turns out it's one of the most important signaling molecules in the entire human body. Okay, so the molecule we're talking about is nitric oxide, and its story is pretty incredible. It has this surprising double life, starting out as kind of a villain before becoming this totally unlikely hero. Its formal name is nitric oxide, or just NO for short. Now, it's part of this really special family of molecules called gasotransmitters, which also includes gases you've heard of, like hydrogen sulfide and carbon monoxide. But don't let that word gas fool you. These aren't just floating around randomly. Nope. They are active messengers produced right inside our cells to do specific jobs. And the journey of NO from villain to hero is just fascinating. For years, it was known as a toxic part of smog and air pollution. But then, in this huge, groundbreaking discovery, researchers realized that our own bodies make this exact same molecule. For the longest time, they were hunting for this mysterious substance they called endothelium-derived vasodilating factor, or EDRF. They knew it existed, but they couldn't figure out what it was. And guess what? It was simple nitric oxide all along, a powerful vasodilator that's absolutely essential for life. So, how does the body actually create this critical molecule? And what exactly is its superpower? Let's take a look at its secret origin story. The manufacturing process is just so elegant. Your body takes a really common amino acid, L-arginine, and inside this tiny cellular factory run by an enzyme called nitric oxide synthase, or NOS, it combines it with oxygen. And the result? You get nitric oxide. It's a beautifully simple and incredibly efficient system. And this is a perfect picture of the domino effect of NO's power. So once it's made in the endothelial cells, that's the lining of our arteries, it zips right over to the muscle cells around them. There, it flips a switch on an enzyme called SGC. That enzyme then creates a key messenger called cGMP. And it's that cGMP that gives the final command to the muscle cell, relax. And that one simple command to relax, that's a process called vasodilation. And honestly, this single action, the widening of our blood vessels, is the secret behind almost all of nitric oxide's heroic deeds. It lowers blood pressure, it improves blood flow, and it just eases the strain on our entire cardiovascular system. It's a huge deal. All right, so now that we know its secret power, let's look at the actual heroic missions nitric oxide performs every single second right inside your body. And believe me, nitric oxide is no one-trick pony. It's a master regulator with several absolutely critical missions. Most famously, it controls our blood pressure, but it also protects our heart from overwork, it safeguards our kidneys, and it even helps modulate our nervous system. Okay, let's talk about high blood pressure or hypertension. It turns out a deficiency in nitric oxide is a major culprit. Studies have shown again and again that patients with essential hypertension often just don't have enough NO. And without it, their blood vessels kind of lose that ability to relax, which leads to that constant, dangerous pressure. All that constant pressure puts a huge strain on the heart, right? It forces it to work way harder, and it can grow dangerously thick and enlarged. That's a condition called left ventricular hypertrophy. Well, nitric oxide acts like a brake on this whole process. It's what we call a negative modulator, which basically means it actively protects the heart muscle from this harmful growth. And the hero's work is never done. In the kidneys, nitric oxide is vital for making sure blood flow is regulated and filtration is happening properly. So a lack of NO in the kidneys is directly linked to a whole bunch of problems and can contribute to the progression of serious renal disease. But here's the thing. Our hero doesn't operate in a vacuum. It is in a constant tug of war with other powerful forces inside our bodies. One of the Nobel Prize-winning scientists who discovered its role, Dr. Ignarro, put it perfectly. He said, nitric oxide is not just blowing in the wind. And that just captures it, right? Its presence or its absence has profound and immediate consequences for our health. So picture this tug of war. On one side of the rope, you've got a relaxer, nitric oxide. And on the other side, you've got its main antagonists, powerful vasoconstrictors like angiotensin 2 and noradrenaline. These molecules do the exact opposite of NO. They tighten and constrict blood vessels, jacking up blood pressure. Our health really is a delicate balance between these two opposing forces. And you can see it right here on this chart. In a healthy system, the relaxing forces, led by nitric oxide, always have a slight edge. That's what keeps the vessels open and the blood flowing nice and smoothly. But in disease states, that scale tips. The constricting forces start to win the tug of war, and that's when you get hypertension and all its dangerous complications. But it's not all about enemies. Nitric oxide also has allies, like its fellow gasotransmitter, hydrogen sulfide. Now, their relationship is pretty complex, but a lot of research shows they can often work together, like a team, enhancing each other's beneficial, relaxing effects. It's a really cool area of ongoing research. Okay, so we've seen its secret power, its missions, its battles. Let's put it all together. What is the big picture here? Why does this one tiny molecule matter so much? Here's what it all boils down to. Nitric oxide is way more than just a gas. It is a master regulator of your body's most critical systems. It actively keeps you healthy by fighting a constant battle against forces that want to constrict your vessels. And when its levels fall, the consequences are severe, directly contributing to high blood pressure, heart disease, and kidney failure. Really, the story of NO is just a perfect example of the body's incredible, mind-boggling system of self-regulation. And that just has to leave us with one final thought, right? If a molecule that we once considered just plain old pollution turned out to be this vital, this important, what other supermolecules might be hiding in plain sight, just waiting for their own story to be told?